What's happening, my peoples? Now, what I have here is a bottle of Barq's root beer, 8 ounces, from what appears to be 1995, from what I can read on the back. And what I have on the other side is a modern day can of Barq's root beer from 2021 or 2, but it's still just as good as a 2023 can. So the title of today's video is going to be What Would Happen If You Drank a 1995 bottle of Barq's root beer next to a modern day fresh one. Now, prior to making this video, I was doing some shopping on eBay and I pretty much found the oldest bottle of Barq's root beer that I could find for a reasonable price. And this 1995 bottle was pretty much the best that I could find. Now, before we actually get into the actual taste test of this video and the pouring, a question that I have to ask you guys today is, has Barq's root beer actually changed from the 1995 edition to 2023? Well, the answer is, let's look at the ingredients here, which I have today. Um, Barq's root beer of 1995 has carbonated water, sugar and or corn sweetener, caramel color, natural and artificial flavor, citric acid, caffeine, sodium benzoate, which is a preservative, and that's it. The modern day container has carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup, caramel color, sodium benzoate, which is to protect the taste, citric acid, caffeine, artificial and natural flavors, and has acacia, which is an oil that is in the water to help act as an emulsifier. And to emulsify is to basically keep all the substances that are inside water all held together to keep it from separating. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the similarities of the 1995 and 2023 container of Barq's. They both have carbonated water. They both have caramel color, the same amount of that. They both have citric acid, the same amount there. They have the same amount of caffeine. But as far as that's concerned, that is pretty much the only similarities that they have. Now let's take a look at the differences. The first difference is that the Barq's root beer from 1995 has sugar and or corn sweetener, whereas the modern day can has high fructose corn syrup. The next difference is that um, the new can has sodium benzoate, which is all around to protect the taste. The old one does not. And let's keep looking here. Um, the next difference is that the modern day can has artificial and natural flavors, but that is the seventh ingredient, whereas the old one has natural and artificial flavor, which is number 4 in the ingredients. So there's less natural and artificial flavors in this can than in the old one. The next difference is that the original Barq's root beer bottle has sodium benzoate, which is a preservative all around. Just helps preserve the substance. And the new one, it doesn't have sodium benzoate in it. Actually, it does. Yes, it does. It does have sodium benzoate. The new one has more sodium benzoate in it. It's actually the 4th ingredient in the new one, whereas in the old one, the sodium benzoate was knocked all the way down to ingredient number 7, so it didn't have near as much in here. Now, the next difference is that in the new Barq's root beer, there was a new ingredient that was added all together that the original Barq's root beer in 1995 didn't have, and that's acacia. And acacia, or acacia, if I'm pronouncing that right, Acacia, Acacia is an oil that is in water, which acts as an emulsifier. And that is, like I said earlier, just helps keep the liquid held together to where it's not going to separate on you with the oils that are in these drinks. Now, looking this over, it looks like that might be pretty much all there is to talk about the differences in these two drinks. But let's just make sure here. Yeah, that's it. So now all we can do left is to just open these and kind of pour some. Here's the new can in the old bottle. Okay, see, it's got the bubbly carbonation, nothing different with what we're all used to as far as the modern day version of Barq's goes. Now let's take a look at this as we pour. Okay, now first off, the first very important difference that would probably say is that the new one has acacia, which is an oil in water which helps act as an emulsifier. The new one does not have the acacia, or the old one does not have the acacia in it at all. So get a nice look at that. New, old. And if you guys take a look at the color right now as it is, just imagine the bubbles not being there on the new one. You can definitely tell that the new one absolutely has that acacia. You can tell that all around it just looks a lot thicker and more dynamic, whereas the old Barq's root beer, it just looks a little bit more watery and flat. Like there's not near as much going on there. So let's go ahead and try the new one first, since that's what we're used to. Boom. Very good. I love Barq's root beer. It always has a really good taste, nice bite. Oh, voila. Done and over with. Perfect. The ingredients can't be any better. Maybe if you want to take out the high fructose corn syrup and use natural sugar, you might be able to do that, but it's not hindering the flavor at all. This is good. Now the old one, yeah, okay, right off the bat, I can definitely smell that it's not what it used to be. This thing is probably 28 years old, understandably so. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Wow. Okay, so the smell took me back a little bit, but the taste is quite wonderful, actually. I can't even believe that this is happening right now. So, the agedness to the old Barq's root beer, it has like this sweet flavor of Barq's root beer, but with an added flavor of very potent vanilla soft serve ice cream. I can't believe that effect. I can't say that's ever happened to me before, but I really can taste vanilla ice cream as the effect for the aged one. So at the end of the day, if you try a modern day Barq's root beer next to a 1995 one, the modern day one is going to taste relatively normal, and the 1995 bottle is going to taste like Barq's root beer with added vanilla soft serve ice cream. That's unbelievable. All right, you guys, there's my pitch. That's it. Maximus the Fourth here. I thank you for watching. See you next time. Better get a thumbnail here real quick.